The real question isn't, can I become wealthy? But am I willing to adopt the traits that wealthy people live by every single day? Because here's the twist. Money isn't the reward. Money is the side effect of discipline, consistency, and smarter systems. Think about your own life for a moment. Have you ever wondered why one friend, earning roughly the same as you, suddenly starts building a stock portfolio, investing in index funds and growing passive income while you feel stuck managing monthly expenses? It's not intelligence. It's not the amount earned. It's not luck. It's the traits they practice when nobody is watching, the traits we're about to break down. You might even feel a little uncomfortable till the end, but that's the point. Growth starts where excuses end. Let's start with number 1. Wealthy people. Master boring consistency, not dramatic wins. Picture this. A young engineer named Matteo decided he'd invest just $40 a week into an ETF tracking the S&P 500. At first, nothing changed. His account barely moved. A year later, still unimpressive. But by the 5th year, he noticed how compounding started doing the heavy lifting. The market volatility didn't scare him because his plan didn't depend on moods. It depended on commitment. That boring habit ended up building him more wealth than a decade of people chasing the next big stock. Wealthy people trust systems more than emotions. This trait matters because the world celebrates outcomes, not consistency. But outcomes follow consistency like shadows follow sunlight. Ask yourself, what small financial action can I repeat for the next 5 years without relying on motivation? Maybe it's $10 a day into an ETF. Maybe it's reading 10 pages on financial literacy. Maybe it's tracking expenses weekly. The amount doesn't matter, the system does. Trait 2. Wealthy people learn skills faster because they learn differently. People assume rich individuals read more books, watch more stock market analysis videos, or take exclusive courses. But the real difference? Wealthy people learn with intention. They don't collect information. They convert information into execution. They don't binge content. They filter for what applies to their financial goals. They don't say, "This is interesting." They ask, "How can I use this today?" Take an example of a college student named Amira, who didn't know anything about equity, dividend income, or mutual funds. Instead of scrolling mindlessly, she decided to learn one new investing concept every week. One week she learned about ETFs. The next, asset allocation. Another week, tax-efficient investing. That knowledge didn't make her rich overnight, but it built a mindset capable of creating wealth in any economic climate. If you ever catch yourself saying, "I need to learn more before I start," that's fear dressed as logic. The wealthy flip the script: start now, learn better later. And that's exactly why they grow faster. Trait 3. Wealthy people control their emotional currency. Money isn't the hardest asset to manage. Emotions are. Wealthy people think long-term even when short-term chaos tries to distract them. When the market dips, the average person panics and sells equity holdings at a loss. In contrast, wealthy investors see market volatility as discounted opportunity, not danger. They understand stock market psychology deeply. Fear creates bargains. Patience creates profit. This emotional stability shows up in everyday life. While others buy with impulse, wealthy people buy with intention. While others chase lifestyle upgrades, wealthy people chase freedom upgrades. They treat money as a tool, not a trophy. This emotional mastery also applies outside finances. They speak less, observe more, and respond instead of reacting. Money grows where emotional maturity exists. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Every financial decision you make is influenced by an emotion: fear, insecurity, pride, ego, excitement. The wealthy aren't emotionless. They're simply ruled by logic more than impulse. Trait 4. Wealthy people think in decades, not paychecks. Many people think until Friday. Wealthy people think until 2035. Long-term vision is their unfair advantage. They build systems that compound. They invest in assets that mature over years. They prioritize projects that require patience but yield freedom. This mindset explains why wealthy people invest in index funds, REITs, rental properties, blue-chip stocks, and long-term portfolios. They aren't impressed by short-term wins. They're obsessed with long-term stability. When you think long-term, your decisions become smarter instantly. You stop buying things for today and start building systems for tomorrow. You stop believing you need quick money and start understanding wealth is slow, quiet, and intentional. Trait 5 will unlock the thing wealthy people do daily that multiplies every other advantage. Trait 5. Wealthy people optimize their energy, not just their time. Time management is popular. Energy management is powerful. Wealthy individuals protect their mental bandwidth fiercely because high-quality decisions require high-quality energy. They avoid negativity, limit distractions, reduce drama, and simplify routines so they can focus on growth activities. Think about this. Most people spend their best energy on other people's emergencies, scrolling apps, arguing online, or dealing with unnecessary commitments. Wealthy people design mornings, environments, and habits that preserve their mind for important work, business, investments, strategy, learning. When you optimize energy, everything improves: financial discipline, decision-making, creativity, and resilience. Trait 6. Wealthy people protect their money by mastering the art of selective decisions. Here's the truth you feel but rarely hear. People stay broke not because they don't earn enough, but because they don't filter their decisions. They say yes to every impulse: new shoes, a limited-time phone upgrade, a weekend trip that destroys their budget, a subscription they'll forget about in 10 days, a friend's plan that derails their goals. The wealthy don't operate like this. They pause, they assess. They ask themselves a simple internal question: does this align with the person I'm becoming? The wealthy understand opportunity cost at a level most people never consider. When everyone else is distracted by short-term excitement, they're focused on long-term capital appreciation. They know each unnecessary purchase delays their dream lifestyle by another week, month, or year. Selective decision-making is a superpower because it protects your goals from being diluted. And the beauty is, you don't need money to start this trait. You can begin today by simply refusing the things that don't move you forward. Trait 7. Wealthy people turn every setback into a system. A young entrepreneur named Cyrus launched a small digital product expecting it to generate passive income. It flopped. Instead of deleting the project and drowning in embarrassment, he broke down the results. What messaging failed? What was the conversion rate? Why didn't people buy? What did early feedback reveal? That analysis eventually became the blueprint for his second product, which succeeded because the first failure taught him everything success wouldn't have. Wealthy people operate with a philosophy: you either win or you learn. That mindset gives them an unfair advantage in investing, entrepreneurship, stock market psychology, real estate, and even career growth. They journal their mistakes. They audit their spending. They review their portfolios during market volatility instead of panicking. They evaluate losses the same way they evaluate profits, with clarity, not emotion. Failures don't slow wealthy people down. They sharpen their strategy. Trait 8. Wealthy people build environments that force them to grow. Here's a truth many avoid. Your environment is shaping you every minute. Your ambitions, your habits, your risk tolerance, even your beliefs about money. Wealthy people don't leave this influence to chance. They intentionally surround themselves with minds that think bigger. They build circles where conversations revolve around financial freedom, portfolio diversification, scaling income, tax-efficient investing, and strategies for long-term wealth. They join communities where ambition is normal. They invest in learning from people who are already living the lifestyle they want. People underestimate this trait, but it's one of the strongest. If you're surrounded by people who complain about money, you'll probably join the chorus. If you're surrounded by people who build wealth silently, you'll start acting like them. Here is the bonus, an important trait for you. Wealthy people become the version of themselves their goals require. This is the deepest, most transformative trait of all. Wealthy people don't just chase goals. They evolve into the kind of person who can achieve and sustain those goals. They build identities that naturally produce wealth-building behaviors. They don't say, "I'm trying to save money." They say, "I am someone who manages money wisely." They don't say, "I hope I start investing someday." They say, "I am an investor no matter how small the amount." Your identity is the real CEO of your financial life. It controls your habits, your decisions, your consistency, your confidence, and your long-term vision. When you shift your identity, even slightly, your financial outcomes shift dramatically. I'm grateful for the chance to share these insights with you. If this video made a difference, like it, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe for more powerful tips. Now, if you really want to level up, don't miss this next video. Let's continue there.